Shalom, shalom, and welcome once again to another video here from Just the Word Shorts. Today we are going to be looking at important how our conscience determines our righteousness, the part that our conscience plays in righteousness. And we do know that only the righteous shall inherit the kingdom. So it is critical to understand how we can be made righteous through our own decision-making process, all right? Because we know that we are righteous by the choices that we make. Let's look at conscience and the decision-making process and show how this impacts our righteousness. All right, thank you, and do watch this video. The conscience. The testament of the 12 patriarchs, the conscience. Let's go to the testament of Yehuda and how the conscience works in a true believer. It is, we are at what? 18:2 to 24. 18:2. Guard yourselves.
Guard yourselves, therefore, my children, against sexual promiscuity and love of money.
There we go with the love of money. This was from the days of Judah, love of money. And we just said money is the greatest enemy of us today, coming out and seeking to enter Zion. Continue. Listen.
Listen to Yehuda, your father, for these things distance you from the Torah of Elohim.
Yep. That's what we just said, didn't we? That when you have money, it just comes between you and the Most High. You cannot serve the Most High and Mammon. Man, you have to be willing to give up everything, man. You come out with your money. And many people are doing this today, relocating. They go and they sell their house. And when they sell their house, they are like, okay, so what can I do now? And they go seeking out real estate and seeking out how they can furnish this and set up this so that they can continue their Babylonian lifestyle in the land. And many people will say, oh, South Africa is the land, because more and more people are coming today and giving more and more evidence of South Africa being the place of gathering and being part of the land of Yasharal. Many people want to come here and they want to buy this and buy this house and do this and do that, not knowing that the Most High does not work in a haphazard fashion. He's an allure of order. And in the book of Zephaniah 2, every week I'm with this. He says, gather yourselves alone. Gather yourselves together. So all you people out there, coming out of Zion, and thinking you can go and you cash out and then live your life in this land, you'll be left behind. As I tell you that this land is a big land. And if I tell you that this land is big. So you can be over there, thinking that over there is where. And you're being another, this gathering is in another part of the country. And you'll be left behind. Yeah? I'm telling you. Imagine a journey from one part of this country to the other. Taking 32 hours. 32 hours to journey from one part. So you will be there and get left by the boat. I'm telling you. Serious. So, money, problem. Verse 3.
Listen to Yehuda, your father, for these things distant you from the Torah of Elohim.
Blind the direction of the soul. So your soul is going to be focused in the wrong direction. And what else does it teach?
And teach arrogance.
That is why when people with money come out and they come out among us, they are so arrogant. As long as they have their money and hold on to their money, you can't talk to them. Least little thing bothers them. Least little things, okay, I'm gone. Because they have their money. Goes elsewhere and set up their nice little thing that they always wanted to do. But they just come here waiting for an excuse to find some fault. And when they find fault, they just go. Because that is what they wanted in the first place. Money. Money. I can tell you. Continue.
They do not permit a man to show mercy to his neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
They deprive his soul of all goodness.
Remember, we're talking about sexual promiscuity and the love of money. Continue.
And oppress him with hardships and grief. They take away sleep from him and utterly waste his flesh.
Mm-hmm.
They impede the sacrifices to Elohim. He does not remember the blessings of Elohim.
How can you?
He does not obey the prophet when he speaks.
How can you?
And he is offended by a pious word.
Man, I have lived all of these. You see? Does not remember the barakah of the Most High. Does not obey the prophet when he speaks, and is offended by a set apart word. Money. Verse 6.
For two passions contrary to Elohim commands enslave him, so that he is
Unable to obey.
Elohim.
Unable to obey. Money chains us down. They blind?
They blind his soul, and he goes about in the day as though it were night.
Blinded, cannot see anything. Verse 1.
My children, love of money leads to idolatry. Because once they are led astray by money, they designate a god. They designate as gods those who are not gods. It makes anyone who has it go out of his mind.
Continue.
On account of money, I utterly lost my children, and had it not been for the penitence of my flesh, the humility of my soul, and the prayers of my father, Jacob, I would have met death childless. But the Elohim of my father, who is compassionate and merciful, pardoned me because I acted in ignorance.
Now we are at the part now. Pay attention to this now.
The prince of error blinded me.
All right. And I was what?
And I was ignorant.
All right. The prince of error is waiting for you to love money or to love some form of sin, something. And he awaits because he cannot act unless you surrender and give up yourself to him. So when you love the money, he's there waiting. As soon as you are there loving the money, he has you, blinding you through your passions. As a human being, as flesh. What did we just say earlier about the carnal mind? The carnal mind is enmity to Alua. So because it is enmity to Alua, it is now friend to the devil. So you loving money, you become an enemy of the Most High and a friend of Hasatan. Read 4 again, please.
The prince of error blinded me, and I was ignorant, as a human being, as flesh, in my corrupt sins, until I learned of my own weakness, after supposing myself to be invincible.
So another thing about the elect will not be slaves to money. The elect will not be slaves to money. They will be willing to give up everything at any time for the Most High. That's why they are his favorites, his chosen. Verse 1.
So, understand, my children, that two Ruachoth await an opportunity with humanity, the Ruach of truth and the Ruach of error.
The Ruach of truth, the angel of righteousness, and the Ruach of error, the angel of wickedness or iniquity. But you have the two angels. Verse 2 says,
In between is the conscience of the mind, which inclines as it will.
So right between is the conscience. So one playing on one side, one playing on the other. You in the middle with that conscience. If that conscience is not right, it is not well tuned in to right and wrong. To when you hear right, you grab the right. If it is not, then what is going to happen? The emotions is going to come up. And this is why it's dangerous for you women. Because you are emotional creatures. So when you hear the word when you hear the truth and things come up, this is why you must be led. I'm very sorry. When it comes up and those emotions come in, remember, truth, error, both of them coming on you. When you hear the thing that comes up, your emotions start telling you and your feelings, oh, it would be nice for me to do this. And you say, it's nice. You start to develop feelings, bam, Prince of Error catches you and snares you. That is why a woman must not teach nor usurp authority over the man, but be in silence. And you must be in subjection. Because the Prince of Error can bind you to the conscience, which might be snared by your emotions. I am hurt. I am this. I am that. I am that. That is what makes the enemy have you. So that is why a woman must be led by a man. And the man, when I say led by the man makes the leading. There's any problem, you go to the man. Instructions, you go to the man. If you are being tempted, you go to the man. Because the man is going to call a spade a spade. The man is not going to come with feelings. The man is going to say, hey, no, it is what it is. Boy, that's how it says and that's what it is. That's how men are. They're not going to mix in feelings. At least most men, because you have today some sissy class of men who will break down things to please their women, their wives. I'm not talking about the sissy class. I'm talking about the true men. Men who will stand up for truth no matter what. Yeah? So the conscience is in the middle. If the conscience is not well tuned, if you don't have a very good conscience, then you will be inclined and to be led by the Prince of Error. And this has happened to me several times along the way. You're there pondering things, and then you have to be thinking, don't let your desires be the dividing line. Don't let your desires determine right from wrong. Yeah? So verse 2 says,
In between is the conscience of the mind, which inclines as it will.
and continue.
The things of truth and the things of error are written in the affections of man, each one of whom Yahuwah knows.
That here's the affections here, the feelings, the emotions. So the things of truth and the things of error. It is the affections that will determine which way you go. If you incline again towards right simply because you rationalize that it is right, or you realize and think and know through the scriptures or through experience that it is right, if you do right because it is right, then you're good. But if you do it because of feelings, then you are going to err. Verse 4.
There is no moment in which man's works can be concealed, because they are written on the heart in Yahuwah's sight.
So Yahuwah knows every feeling that we go through. And everything that is done by emotions, he knows. Yeah? So we cannot be hid. Verse 5.
And the Ruach of truth testifies to all things and brings all accusations.
So the truth now, when we err, the truth testifies and brings accusations. He who has sinned is consumed in his heart and cannot raise his head to face the judge. So we will be convicted that what you have done is wrong. And that is why now we have repentance and testifying and publicly saying we were wrong for doing this, or I was wrong for doing this. Okay? So the conscience regulates right from wrong.